Hello again, welcome to another Green Dragons Gaming Club. Without us, they never feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So today we have Dread Elves versus Dwarven Holds. Ryan is playing the Dread Elves, and again, my name is Mark. I'm Sir MC 2015 up on the Ninth Age boards. We're a gaming group based out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. If you're in the area, reach out to me here on the boards, to the YouTube channel, greendragonsgaming.com at gmail.com. Always happy to turn around and meet like-minded players. We're always trying to expand our group. We do a variety of games, not just Ninth Age. We do War Machine. One guy's really heavily in the development of actually Robotech. So we do card games. We do a variety of things. So we are a local-based gaming group. And that's it in variety of skill levels, going from very simplistic to very advanced skill levels. So please definitely reach out to us. So here is the Dread Elf list that Ryan's using. And he and I play very similar armies with what we do, but we use different magic items, but the units that we use tend to be somewhat similar, and it's interesting on how different we do play the game. So I'll give you a moment just to turn around and do that. He did take his general with a nab, so that made all of his troopers turn around and gain hatred, but they lost the reroll ones to wound in close combat. That's that. Here is my Dwarven. So again, there's my Dwarven King with the throne, resistance, forging, shielding, destruction with a shield. I'm going to tweak him a little bit. I'm not truly enjoying how he's working so far, where I like having the D3 wounds, but he's just not having the output. He's great for killing, I guess, characters and things like that, but he's got 6 wounds. He can take a beating and survive. So I think I'm going to, I don't know, I'm going to go back to his construction. Actually was a master engineer in this game, but I just copy pasted. And honestly, I want to drop him back to being a normal engineer. It's just not worth it. And I did not do anything. Oh no, my Greybeards had Vanguard this time rather than my Warriors. So with that said, here's how our board looks. So again, he started placing a unit, I placed a unit, and I'm like, there's no way. He's got like 12 or 13 drops to my 8 or 9 drops. No way I was going to outdrop him. No way I was going to see anything of substance before I turned around and placed everything. So I looked at what he started doing, looked at the board, and like, I know what you got. I know what's going where. And I pegged it fairly close. Didn't affect my battle plans. Because I did deploy first, he got the Vanguard first. So I'm like, do I leave my dwarves, my graybeards where they are to try to charge his horsemen up there, his fast cav, I forget what they're called, or do I simply move them up and threaten the center, which is again, there's nothing meaty in that center. A lot of damage output because it's shooting, but nothing meaty. So I chose to go after the meaty center. So because I dropped first, there's Captain One Eye, and that's it. So again, I moved dwarves up. One thing I did in error that I should have definitely done differently is I left the Thunderers in the back, and I didn't move them up. I should have moved them up, give them a chance to shoot, and I chose not to because I was more interested in having my engineer be able to be utilized for what he has on the board, and I just shouldn't have cared about that in retrospect. So that was the end of movement. You do see some dead models on the field, so I'll get to that in just a quick moment. So over here, my magic does nothing. My magic usually does nothing. I'm a dwarf. So my, oh my god, my organ gun, or whatever it's called now, my organ gun turned around and let loose, killing all but one of his fast cav, his dark riders. But the reason why is I let my cannon use my engineer, and I was, because of the range, I was hitting on 5s and then wounding on 2s, and it was really the hitting on 5s is what did me in. That's why I only killed 4 of them. I think I may have messed that up, but oh well, say levy. Over here, those which are the thunder or the plastic thunder models, I'm actually using as my my forge wardens for right now. I do actually have forge warden models in a box to be assembled. Question is, am I actually going to assemble them? I don't know yet. I actually like using the new plastic as the forge wardens and using the old third, fourth edition metal models because of how they look as the guild crafted handgun. So I don't know yet. That's all I can say is I don't know. But they took out two there. Both units passed their panic test. Cannon did put 2 wounds on the Kraken. And so now it's the Dread Elves turn 1. And Squigworth there, his head got chopped off in this picture. So he turns around, he moves his executioners on the one flank, which is the one that's behind that unit, and he moves his mage out there in the open. I should have taken advantage of this during my shooting phase, and I chose not to. And that was my own error. I should have had my cannon, using the ballistic skill of my engineer, try to take out that mage. And I chose not to. Instead, I forget what I shot at with my cannon. I know it hit something, but it failed to wound. You know what? I tried to go after his BSB, which is the Manticore over by the other building. But again, this is his turn at this point. So he turns around. His Dark Riders kill one of my Forge Wardens. Over here, I lost 5 of my Greybeards. Now, they took so much punishment this turn. They had the 2 bolt throwers with repeating bolts. They had the unit on the right there of the I forget what they're called now, but the crossbowmen, and then that other unit of crossbowmen, which is a larger unit with a banner. They let into them. They only did 5 wounds, and he was not a happy camper. And of course, I passed my panic test. Over here, as I said, they killed 1. Over there, I forget what killed 2 of them. It was a shooting up there. There's a mage in the upper right. Killed 2 of them. And so now it's Dwarves turn 2. So the Greybeards charged. I have Swift Stride within 6 inches of my Dwarven King. So I charged into the first bolt thrower. And I chaff up his tower guard using that small unit of 10 warriors with great weapons. And that's really it. I didn't care about his fast cavalry on the left. And I try opening up with... I shot at some. I want to say the Kraken. I completely whiffed over there, and that was it. So over here, I get the -1 to wound. Over there's that combat. My organ gun turned around and killed 4 of his executioners, and easily killed the one bolt thrower and run into the next bolt thrower. So there's Quickworth. So now it's Dread Elves turn 2. He did consider charging into the Greybeards. I looked down, like, you're barely going to get in there. You're only going to have like 1 or 2 guys, and no matter what, I'll be swinging against you. Yeah, you might break me, and I'll lose my models, but I don't care. It's a rinky-dink unit. So instead, he chaffed me up, which was actually a good move by him. He turned around and chaffed me up, and he charged in with his Hydra and Chariot into the Warriors, and otherwise he just simply repositioned. He did try to charge his Kraken into the, what are they? The Forge Wardens on the left there, but it was actually a block charge from his own model, from the BSB that was in front. And that's it. He did charge the organ gun with the one lone Dark Rider on the right flank. So all he was doing was hoping to hold them up. Magic or shooting or something took out 3 of my deep guard. I scratched the King's Guard and took the Deep Watch. Because 1, better armor save. 2, they're still stubborn, in which case they're stubborn with just a character rather than needing the king. 3. They're strength 4. Yeah, they're not strength 6 to attack, but they're strength 4, strength 5 on the charge. What else do I need? Really? With a 5-up ward save. Over here, the Warriors, I think I lost another 3 to shooting. And there, the 2 of them turn around and killed all but 1. The unit champ is left. He whiffs. He overruns. Over here, I turn around. I killed his 1 remaining bolt thrower, and I chose not to pursue. I kept that position because that way I had line of sight to both of them. But one thing we screwed up. We did a couple screw ups throughout this game, and in retrospect, I would have repositioned myself differently at this point, as I would have actually turned, because the unit there with the banner actually fled. They failed their panic test and fled. So I actually would have repositioned towards them because I would have charged them again. They would have fled once again, and then I would have went into the other unit, and then they would have fled, and then I would have chose to go into the original unit and then catch them and kill them. So that is what I would have done with the Greybeards rather than what ends up happening. Over here, my organ gun stands firm and kills the 1 Dark Rider. And as I said, that other unit fled, but too late on my part. And now it's Captain One-Eye with the Dwarves turn 3. And he turns around. Again, the reason why his Hydra and his Chariot are that way is because of how they had to pursue from that 1 fleeing unit. So it's Dwarves turn 3. I considered moving my Forge Wardens up, and oh, not my Forge, the Dwarven Handhold, just wheeling them a little bit to try to get shots on his BSB, but I didn't have a shot. Instead, I turn around and just let him shoot into the Hydra. And I had my my Forge Wardens fire into the Kraken. I charged with the King and the unit with a -3 to my weapon skill. In retrospect, I just should have charged the King and not cared. But I had the King charge into the with the Deep Watch into his Executioners because I wanted that banner. That was our secondary objective, before I forget, was capture the standards, so you had to annihilate the unit with standards. And that's literally where things lie at this point in time. So over here, I actually, the Forge Wardens killed the Kraken outright. He was not a happy camper about that. Put 2 wounds on the Hydra from the handgunners, if memory serves. Put 3 wounds on his BSB from a cannon shot. And that was it. Over there, I lost my Runesmith. Unfortunately, he zeroed in on the Runesmith rather than going after the Deep Watch and killed him. So now, Dread Elves, turn 3. So at the end of that combat, after killing his executioners, I did turn around. I completely forgot about that mage because he stopped casting with that mage completely and just hid her behind a building. So where I was actually standing for the game, not paying attention to the pictures, I couldn't see her. I just flat out could not see her there. He turned around. He charged with his Mana Core into the flank of the handgunners. I chose to flee as a charge reaction, which was a smart play. Unfortunately, it caused my engineer to flee, and he fled away from them, and it just was like, and he was just useless after that for this entire game. He had his Hydra originally charge the Forge Wardens, and I fled from that, so then he took the Hydra and charged the Flame Cannon instead. I knew the Flame Cannon was like on borrowed time. I'll word it like that. I wasn't expecting that thing to live. So, of course, the Hydra eats the Flame Cannon. That was really it. So now it's Dwarves turn 4. Turn around, I rally the handgunners. His Dark Riders are still in combat with the Dwarf Cannon, which he was not happy about, but at the same time kind of saved him a little bit. Let's see, what else? I think I forgot to mention last turn. Let me go back. up there in the middle of the board. He actually charged my flank of my Dwarven warriors with his Tower Guard, with his Dread Prince. Wasn't concerned about it. I had spears, I had my hold stone, I had other models in there to turn around and accept the challenges. And I really wasn't concerned because they have t-shirt saves. I had hatred against that unit. Wasn't concerned. And come the end of that combat, he's like, I should have killed you. I should have won that combat, even with you having hatred. I'm like, you're only T3s. I need to wound you on 4s. I have more attacks. And no, that's just what happens. So as you can see, there aren't as many of either unit. We actually equaled out on a number of wounds. Either I lost combat and got it with my reroll, or he lost combat. And either way, we did a combat pivot. In retrospect, I probably should have pulled my unit a little to the left. So if you want to reform, keep everything in, and this way I should have just kept doing that shimmy, so to speak, during combat reforms, so I could get my my king within range. But that's neither here nor there. That was my own error. We did a couple of different errors in this game, which is very unlike us, but we did, and I'll point it out. So over here is that combat. I have the -1 to hit, -1 to wound, going up on that unit at this point in time. And Dread Elves turn 4. So again, there's that combat going on. He finally killed the cannon with those 3 guys, which overran into the organ gun. He did a long bomb charge with his manticore. That got in. He did charge the engineer, who fled off the field. So that's why it was like, yeah, whatever. And that's it. That's kind of how things look at this point in time. And of course, you still have the Hydra over there. I think it was -1 to my movement, so I'm now like a 2-inch move. Over there, he just completely obliterates my poor organ gun. His 3 riders run into the guild-crafted handgunners, and he repositions like so. I charged my king out at his mage, made his mage run away. I was hoping. It was a hope against hope. Over here, of course, killed that, put 2 wounds on the Hydra. So, you see where he charged in to my king there, because he broke, even though I killed that unit of of Tower Guard to a man. Let me go back a couple picks. So that's after the combat. That's right before the combat, where I've got 2 ranks, and I end up losing 4 of my dwarves, and I kill his 3, and it's something screwy. But I still had more than 5 models in that unit. I completely forgot about Steadfast. Completely forgot. So he ends up winning that combat. I rolled a 10 and a 10 twice, or a 9 and 10, or something silly like that. So I broke, and he overruns and runs into my king. He's got the headsman's axe. I have to look up on that, because granted he has hatred, but it's a great weapon, and I think he was still giving himself the +1 to hit me, which I don't think you're supposed to do, because I thought it was a great weapon. So he's like, I'm hitting you on 3s. I'm like, thought it was 4s, but whatever. And like I said, we were just making mistakes left and right. He charged in with his chariot into the whatever they are, the Deep Watch is what they're called now, the Iron Breakers, old Iron Breakers, and they're actually old Iron Breaker models. And that's it. My handgunners are staring over at the Hydra, and in retrospect, I should have backed him up another 3 inches and then just opened up on the Hydra, but I did not. I screwed up there. And up in the upper right-hand corner, you see I have 2 Greybeards going against that 1 unit of I can't remember the bolt throw, I just can't remember what some of these these new units names are. I do apologize, but the crossbowmen, dark shards, or they're called something like that now. So turn around. I have 2 left, and I've been whittling down that unit. And he's like, that unit of Greybeard should not be there anymore. I looked at him and shrugged and smiled. You know, it's been a royal bloodbath. Over here, he has a flank, a charge. I think he fails to wound me, or he does 1 wound. He does 1 wound, which counts as 2 wounds. So I flee, and then it's going to be dwarves turn 6. Those 2 dwarves finally kill those repeaters and run them off the board, and that was basically it. The chariot versus the Ironbreakers does absolutely nothing for the entire game there. So now it's turn 6. I'm just going to go back a few pictures here because I didn't even bother taking a picture of it. His Hydra goes into the handgunners, and I completely didn't even think to check the distance. I couldn't stand and shoot because he was just under 6 inches away, and he had checked beforehand. So I'm like, hey, good play. He took his BSB there and charged it in with into the Deep Watch up there on top of the hill. And the Deep Watch turn around, and because it's now hand to hand, though, just simply do 1 more wound to his BSB, who I have hatred against, and kills it outright. So that got me his BSB. He actually does eventually kill my king because my king loses combat and just breaks on an 8 or 7, and I whiffed. I no longer have a reroll, so that he fled, and that was it. So it ends up being actually 11-9 victory in his favor. So now, since we're done, I'm going to go back. It was originally 11-9 victory in his favor. Again, we did a couple of mistakes, and I know that, and he knows that. And we're like, hey, you know what? Oh, well, yeah, we didn't catch it. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. Wasn't going to lose sleep over it. But it did end up still being a Dwarven Holds victory, 12-8, because of the secondary objectives, because I got 2 of his banners, and he only got 1 of my banners. So still solid victory. For me, my warriors with spears, they definitely killed the tower guard to a man, leaving just his Dread Prince. And to me, his Dread Prince is, I mean, it got my BSB, the unit warriors, my king, all because of that 1 model. So job well done there. And that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle report. Got another game going on tomorrow night, and so I hope to have another one up shortly. We also did a 3-way game, so I hope to put that one up shortly as well. Any questions, just feel free to post, or comments or concerns. That's it. Thank you so much. Until next time. Bye.